Good evening, boss. Boss myself, Steven Junior, and I'm the head of this group.
Okay.
And so we are doing an awareness on cybersecurity.
Okay.
So we want to, ask your experience on cybersecurity,
Okay.
scam,
Okay.
fraud, cyberbullying,
Okay.
and everything in general concerning cybersecurity.
Mm.
So first, I'm going to ask you your experience on cyberbullying,
Okay.
if there is any.
Yes, I'm very much aware there are numerous cyberbullying, ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the common one that we all know is the mobile money fraud.
Yes.
Yes. And then aside that, I'm very much aware about the internet fraudsters as well. Those who use images of other people, they impersonate people.
Yeah.
Yes, that one is also another aspect. And then there are others who are also, to me, I feel, it's not my field though, but I feel like they are even more detailed, whereby if they want to track somebody down and then, cause the person harm and all that, they're able to study the person's social media handles, especially those who have been posting their locations and all that, both the Snap and then the Facebook and all that.
Instagram.
They're able to know where you are and then at what time and then what moment you are there, so that if they want to make any move either at your home or at your workplace, they are able to, because they know at this moment you are not there and all that. So I know there are numerous of them.
But have you ever been a victim of those?
Oh, there have been multiple attempts, but I always get to know, and then I find especially the WhatsApp hacking one. Yes, I mostly realize it earlier, and then the mobile money fraud as well. That one too, I always take notice of that. But aside that, I've personally been putting in measures, trying my best not to fall victim with the online ones, because there are certain things I know they are clickbait.
Okay.
Or sometimes if it's obvious or I am not purposefully trying, going there, I don't even try to click on some of the links that I don't know about. So I'm trying my best. So I feel, yes, there have been attempts, but
Okay, so probably I know since you are into civil engineering, you might be into online banking and
yes,
those kind of stuff.
yes.
So what would you actually do when you receive a suspicious email from your bank, or any attacker trying to impersonate the bank about sending you an email for either verification or any other?
Okay, so first of all, one thing I know is if I haven't contacted the bank for any transaction, nobody can just call me and then send me a prompt code or something, or verification code or something. And then anytime I get something like that, as I said, if I haven't visited the bank or made a phone call or I haven't conducted any transaction, I don't verify those verification things. Yeah, so that is one thing I'm very cautious about. And luckily for me, I'm able to differentiate between the bank's email and then a phone call from the bank, because I have my personal bank manager. So I have the number that they normally call me on. That's the only number they call me on, and it's a company line. So these are some of the things that I do. I don't just answer to any strange number who is trying to know much about my personal information. That I don't do.
Okay, that's very nice. And you see, there have been links here and there. Maybe there can be a link saying, let's say, as civil engineering are into a group,
Okay,
and
WhatsApp group and all that. Okay.
and with that, an attacker can send you a link, of which if you click on the link, it will lure you into their net, and into their net they can ask for personal information about your email, your password, and I want to know how best you can help curb this, or even if you have been a victim, how were you able to protect yourself from such attack?
Okay, so you remember I mentioned earlier, I think that is the clickbait that I stated earlier.
Yeah.
So one thing about me is every group page that we are in, we don't just share links like that. And then if somebody shares a link that is not related to the page, yes, sometimes we do click some of these things, even as much as we are trying to be cautious. Sometimes we click those things, but the moment the page opens, if you are observant or enough, you would realize that this is not something related to the course or the field of work. So that was somebody like me. I always close those links. That in my first click, but most of the time I don't even click so there's those links. And if I want to, if it is very let me say lucrative that I want to click, sometimes I even chat the individual in the page personally and then ask about the link. So most of the groups I'm in, I'm familiar with all those who are in the group. Those that I'm not familiar with, that is maybe an international something, I'm very careful when it comes to some of these links that are being sent. So I'm basically, I'll say I'm very cautious. I try my best not to, get myself, wrapped up in this clickbait thing. So that's how normally I go about it.
So please, with this experience and how cautious you are on your cyber life, what would you tell others who are yet to be reached out, or who wants to be more cautious about their cyber life?
Okay, so I only recommend one TV channel that I sometimes chance upon them or sometimes intentionally watch their programs, which is the GH Police TV. Yes, I normally watch their cybercrime unit teachings. You get more information on some of these things. Aside that, I'll also urge, as I said earlier, even if you are in a group page, it's not every link that you need to click on. Especially if you are not familiar with all those in the group, or you just happen to join the group by chance, you should be very careful. And these links that people share, I normally verify from the individual who shared it if I know the person. So it's all about trying your best not to click any link that you find online, and then trying to preserve yourself.
Okay, so last question. Have you ever lodged a complaint, or maybe reach out to maybe a telecommunication company regarding maybe some scam attempts or anything?
Yes, I've done that before. I did that with can I mention it?
Yeah.
That is MTN. I called them and then I left the complaint. But later on I realized they have a short code or a link that you can just send the number that did that to them, and they will take it from there. So I think I've sent multiple, let's say averaging like, let's say 5.
Okay.
I've done that.
But has there been any like good response from them?
Well, normally when you send it that way, they don't call you to discuss anything. So far, the ones I've sent, you send a number and you tell them the reason, you state that fraud. So I don't know, I'm sure they monitor or they track that number to see the transaction that goes on and all that. But they don't call to let you know that they are making a progress on it or something. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You are welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay.